This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If we could learn to work and play and get along with each other.
This is my brutality.
What is your brutality, Liam? Please describe it.
My brutality is life itself, and its constant attempt to crush me. That is my brutality. What is your brutality?
I don't know. Something from Mortal Kombat?
Went very different directions for that.
Yeah, welcome everybody to Wednesday War Game episode 10.
10, 11? No, we're over 10 now.
Are we on 11? No, it's 11, you're right. I'm always one behind, that's my problem. I'm always one less.
Sure I've been right every time. And then you're like,
If only there was a way I could check this thing before we did the podcast, but there is no way. I just have to wing it, like all reasonable human beings.
Well, that's because you wake up 3 seconds before we record.
Well, usually I watch NXT before I wake up, but last night I watched NXT, and I did literally wake up 3 seconds before I record, and I'm sniffly, and I have a little head cold, and I watched NXT, and everything's bad, apparently.
Just in life?
Yeah, everything is coming up. It's the opposite of everything's coming up Millhouse. Everything's coming down, Garrett.
That feels about right. Like, just in general, on a global scale, everything is just going badly.
But we have wrestling, Liam. Wrestling is our solace. It is
our escapism, where nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, it's the saving grace, the place where we can hide from the woes of the world and watch Jon Moxley matches, because we have AEW Dynamite and NXT to talk about, and AEW won last week, reversing the trend of NXT winning for 1 week. I don't think you can call it a trend if they win for
Hell
1
yeah.
week, but still. AEW came out victorious, and we will talk about them first, which means we are talking first about Jon Moxley against Alex Reynolds, an all-time classic, Liam.
I loved it. 25 stars.
You're just going to throw all the stars you can at the squash.
Every star that I've been allocated, as we all know, anyone who reviews wrestling is allocated a certain amount of stars at the start of the year, and I'm throwing the remainder of my stars to this match.
You got to fill your stars quota, or you can't give them out next year.
It's true.
They take them away from you.
See, this is what people don't understand. They don't understand the inner workings of wrestling journalism.
Yeah, you got to closely manage your stars, and we're in December. I'm surprised you have so many left, because you just throw stars at everything.
It's been a weak year.
Do you think it's been a weak year in wrestling?
I actually do. I don't have very many high-end match of the year candidates.
My match of the year is probably Shingo and Ospreay.
Mine is Jordan Devlin versus David Starr, the correct answer.
That's pretty good, I guess. Good, nice little 3.25 star match. Or 4.25. God, if I was 3.25, it would be madness. But and then there's probably some G1 Shingo and Ishii G1 matches that were probably real good that I'd have to go back and look at.
Omega and Tanahashi.
That was like that match is fine.
I think it was like a perfect New Japan main event.
We will talk about our AEW and NXT matches of the year. Actually, no, only from the television shows from the War Games period.
Yes, we're going to have the most specific end of year awards possible. Just the TV of 2 companies.
Yes, but not even the full TV of NXT, just the TV of NXT from October 2nd.
Don't count anything else they've done. Can we include 205 if we also include Dark?
No, Dark is out, and 205 is out, and even the first few weeks of NXT on USA is out.
I was going to say, well then I think Dark being out cripples certain people's chances.
Well, that's AEW's problem for putting them on Dark all the time, isn't it?
I guess.
Jon Moxley hit him with the pendulum shift, or paradigm shift. Which one is it?
It's the paradigm shift.
There we go, the paradigm shift, and pinned Alex Reynolds in 5 seconds. It is the shortest match in AEW history. Before Chris Jericho came out, invited...
Whoa, John Silver 812.
Okay, he DDT'd both of them. Then Chris Jericho invited Jon Moxley into the inner circle. Liam, do you think he's going to join? Are you convinced that Jon Moxley's like, yes, I will join the inner circle?
I'm shaking with anticipation at Jon Moxley's answer. I am worried that he may go to the dark side.
Do you remember Christian Cage's TNA debut?
No.
Where he came out at Genesis 2005, gave his big promo, and Scott D'Amore came out. Scott D'Amore is like, Christian, you should join Team Canada. I'm going to give you some time to think about it, but here's a t-shirt. Then Christian was like, whoa, I'm going to think about it. Then later in the show he came out, And he's like, he opened his cool fancy sparkly jacket and there was a Team Canada shirt. And everyone was like, oh no, Christian has joined Team Canada. And Scott D'Amore was like, ha 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 ha, cackle. But then Christian beat up Scott D'Amore, Jeff Jarrett and Planet Jarrett, tore off the Team Canada shirt and revealed he's a nice guy. Basically, they're doing that exact angle in AEW.
You know, they say that we learn from the greats.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an example of that happening.
Because I think that's exactly how that angle is going to go, where he's going to come out in the t-shirt and Jericho's going to be like,
he's going to have his mock spray paint jacket and he's going to reveal that the shirt's under it.
Yeah, and Jericho's going to cackle and Jericho's going to be delighted and everyone's going to be like, no, and then he's going to hit him with the DDT and everyone's going to be like, yay!
And then we're going to get a lights out match, because that's how Moxley feuds work.
People generally, wrestling should be unpredictable, and I'm like, I know exactly how this angle is going to play out, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with the beat that he's going to pretend that he's in the stable, then he's not going to be in the stable, then he's going to beat up Jericho, because it's going to be a nice, satisfying little moment.
I think now we worry too much about trying to swerve the fans. Or as fans, we perceive that the company is trying to swerve us at every corner now, when in reality, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, we can't do that. It's too predictable. Usually, if it's predictable, that means it makes sense. And if it makes sense, that means you should probably do it. We got a video package for the Young Bucks and Santana Ortiz. It aired on Dark, but they aired it again now. So PWG footage has officially aired on national television, Liam.
Oh yeah, when I was watching this, I actually thought, wow, Scott Lost has finally made it to national TV.
Yeah, this is his big national TV. I'm very upset that they're like, the Young Bucks are very good at these street fights. And it's like, LAX, they did barbed wire massacres. They did concrete jungle death matches on exposed boards. Young Bucks got nothing on them.
Well, the Young Bucks didn't bust out the tack shoes in this match, did they?
No, they didn't, because they're cowards. Well, I guess they won. They didn't need them either.
I mean, maybe if LAX were as tough as competition as Candice and Joey Ryan.
Candice is the true star of the Wednesday Night Wars. God, it's not Monday. It's not 1999.
What if Candice was the first jump?
Wait, she should be. What'd she do? She
might be.
She's playing second fiddle to a bunch of people on NXT. She should have won the belt by now, and she hasn't.
Well, it's like if she were to jump, she would immediately be like the American ace, right?
Well, I'd imagine Statlander would be established by then, but maybe.
Oh, imagine that feud.
It'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Should I just fantasy book the Wednesday Night Wars the way we want to do them?
We should do an invasion angle.
Oh, because they always go so well.
Yeah.
We were talking about invasion angles today, actually.
Should do an NXT and AEW invasion.
And it ends in a cage of death.
That would be definitely one where egos would get in the way at every single turn.
You know who would play the homicide role?
Kenny Omega.
No, that doesn't make sense.
His history in Deep South Wrestling, Liam.
Kenny would very clearly play the Danielson role, and he would turn on Cody in the middle of the match. But who? Obviously, Marty would be the homicide role.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop, indeed.
The Butcher and the Blade face Cody and QT Marshall in probably the match of the year.
Wait, what?
I think QT Marshall should win Rest of the Year solely based on this match. He was phenomenal in this match.
Yeah, this match was... Okay, I really, really like this match, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think Cody and QT Marshall should have got as much offense as they did.
No, I think QT Marshall was far too hilarious to ever give out about how much offense he got in.
I guess, but I was watching this, I was like, come on, these are like your big killers tag team that you're debuting, and they're going 50-50 with QT Marshall.
QT Marshall did a big, like, basically the Will Ospreay space flying tiger drop, or at least tried to do it, and it was like just the right amount of hilariously bad. Like, if it was any worse, it would be like terrible, and if it was any better, it would be like, you're too good.
I saw the match.
Yeah.
I know that it was great. I still don't think it should have been 50-50.
No. QT Marshall Rest of the Year. I'm fine with everything that happened in this match. Because he, as I said, he was the perfect amount of bad. It's like, if he was any better, it would have been like, oh no, QT Marshall, you're not supposed to look this good. And if he was any worse, it would have been just bad. Whereas he was just like the right amount of sloppy and enthusiastic that made this match like perfect. I love this match. This match was great.
This match was the highlight of the show.
It probably was. The show peaked with this match.
It really did. I really liked the Butcher. I even so much that I messaged you about it as I was watching.
Yes, you enjoyed not Silas Young.
He's cool. I look at that guy and I go, that's a cool guy. That's a pro wrestler right there.
I'm still baffled about how much the Blade looks different with just a small amount of hair.
Give him his mask. He looks like a dork.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a good first showing for them. They got over, they won, which is always good, and they're probably going to face Cody and Darby next, and they're probably not going to win. What's with Cody having no friends? What, like, his brother?
They justified it.
Did they?
Yeah, last week Cody's like, everyone's focused on their own bullshit. I get it.
But his brother, he could just have his brother.
He's busy doing PWG six-mans.
He couldn't come out and had team with him once.
No, that might be the blow-off.
Also, my favorite part was Tony's like, he has no friends. And I'm like, Cutie is right there, Tony. Come on.
Yeah, that's his employee.
Yeah. So he's still just a giant nerd. And he lost, so he is a giant nerd.
I hope the next stage of this is they do some Darby, Cody stuff. Butcher and Blade still win. Then he calls in Dustin. Boom. They have a big, brawl, blood. Go back, let's do some crazy shit. Blood and guts, baby.
But no, it's Revolution, Liam.
And I'm so pissed about that.
It's a very bland, and the logo looks bland, and
I'm really upset that we got Global Force Revolution instead.
I looked at that and I'm like, that's a Global Force Wrestling logo.
It's the color scheme.
It's even like the fonts are they're not even the same, but they're vaguely similar. It's just like, that's a GFW logo. And the globe in the background.
It's also kind of dumb about it. It's like every pay-per-view name up until this point has been kind of like a jokey name. Mm-hmm. And this one's like, we are serious wrestling company. We are Revolution.
Yeah, you gotta join the Revolution, Liam.
They really need to get the TNA voiceover guy for this one.
The Wii was originally called the Revolution.
Really?
Yeah, that was the code name for the Wii.
Wheelie.
Jeff Wheelie on the Game Awards.
Jeff Keighley. Keep betting. We're definitely doing the Game Awards podcast.
MJF came out and
you walk over that.
We're not doing a Game Awards podcast.
How dare you? Live stream it. Game of War Games.
If you want, we could do an episode of podcast a week about the Game Awards.
Hell yeah.
MJF came out and was like, Cody, you're bad, but I'll tell you how you want to fight me.
Listen, I like MJF. I think he's a good promo. But he says the same shit every week.
Yeah, it's like no matter where he goes, everybody's Hicks, which I guess, alright.
That's kind of funny though, because compared to him, everyone's Hicks. I hope he goes to New York and he's like, oh, you New York Hicks.
Yeah, he comes out and he does the standard heel promo, which is very well delivered, as you said. But it's the Paul Heyman thing, where it's very well delivered, but the substance is either the same every time or just nothing.
Yeah.
It's like here.
And he said he's going to have some rules and stipulations that we have to wait a month for.
It's only 3 weeks. It's only January 1st. That's the Jacksonville one, isn't it?
Sorry, not a month. 3 weeks.
Yeah. New Year's Day, he'll tell us how wild.
We got the second best part of this show.
What the stipulations are. Yes, the Dark Order, once again, they're trying to convince or convert Alex Reynolds via hotel. I did like that they just did the full, a hotel intro video and then cut in.
Did you get a chance to go to the website?
I looked at it briefly. I heard you joined the Dark Order. You've left me.
I did. I have officially joined the Dark Order. I gave the Dark Order my phone number.
Oh no! You're gonna get called by AEW marketing, being like, "Have you considered buying AEW Revolution?"
They have my phone number and my Twitter handle.
Oh no! They're gonna shut you down. When they don't like your takes on the podcast, they're gonna be like, "Ha! We have his information."
Well, have you seen what Evil Uno's been doing on Twitter?
No, I don't follow. Actually, no, we followed him on the War Games account, but I never look at tweets on that account.
You should watch it, because what he's been doing is people have been using the hashtag with their stories about being huge losers. Uh-huh. And he's been responding in the character with in video format with the background and the hypnotizing kind of the spirals, and he's been cutting promos welcoming them.
That's cool. Do you think the Dark Order against the Young Bucks is the pay-per-view match?
Maybe not yet. I wouldn't do it yet.
Because we'll get into this. Actually, no, we'll do it now. The Young Bucks won the main event, and I think they should win the tag titles. And
they definitely should.
100%. There is no argument for the Young Bucks not winning the tag titles. I think they should beat SCU, and they should be tag champions at the end of the year. But then the question is, who do they face in February? At the end of February, February 29th is the pay-per-view on Leap Day, no less, Liam.
They face Villain Enterprises.
Marty and himself.
Marty and the Butcher and the Blade.
Oh, yeah, so it's 3-on-2. That makes sense.
And no, they have Dustin. The Natural Bucks versus Villain Enterprises. Book it.
6-man tag for the tag titles.
Yeah, why not? That rules. I don't know why you're saying it as if that's not a great idea.
Anytime tag titles are defended outside tag matches, well, not 95% of the time it's bad and dumb and should be done.
I wonder how long it takes. This is completely off topic. Well, not really. It's about the tag titles. I wonder how long it takes until we get like a multi-man tag ladder match, because the Bucks love that shit.
I'm going to say All Out next year. So August.
Because by then you'll have Dark Order ready, I assume. You'll probably have Private Party up again. You could run back with Lucha Bros, and then you just got enough people to do crazy bullshit.
Or you just do the Bucks against Lucha Bros against LAX.
You need to have Dark Order in there, come on.
Sure, definitely need to have Dark Order in there.
Well, Dark Order have had one of the best tag team ladder matches ever. Like in PWG, the 3-way.
They weren't a Dark Order then, Liam.
Yeah, they were happy gamers, and now they're angry gamers.
Big Swole defeated Emi Sakura in a solid enough match. I think it went too long.
This was like a worse version of the Chris Statlander, Hikaru Shida formula.
Yeah, where they sent Sakura out there to establish Swole. And I thought it was pretty good, and then I thought it was pretty good, and then I thought it was like, alright, and then it's like, please just end.
Oh, we forgot to mention that like the Dark Order are trying to corrupt Alex Reynolds.
I said that, but then you detoured into your joining the Dark Order.
It's more important. I am more important than Alex Reynolds.
Probably.
They should have played the Big Swole video package on this show.
It's probably too long. They probably would have had to cut it down because it was a good 5 minutes long.
Well, you can cut it down though.
But yes, they probably should have.
But like she's great.
And she got a reaction, so it's not like people might be like, "Oh, you should put it in front of." But like 500,000 people always watch Dark every week. It's not like, that's not a dramatically less number of people than watch Dynamite.
I was gonna say like that's a bad Dynamite. That's like
yeah.
Like, that's still pretty decent.
That's still 60% or so of the average Dynamite audience. 65%. So, like, that's...
They're not getting the NWA numbers.
And clearly, she got a reaction here. So people know who she is from Dark and probably saw the video feature. And odds are the people that attend AEW events are people that watch Dark.
Or at least skim through it.
And yeah, so clearly, people at least knew who she was. And yeah, she won. It was okay. It was decent. But as I said, too long. This match was too long.
A little long. But then again, as I said, this is going kind of long. It ended literally 10 seconds after I said that. So
and that helps. They should just splash out a Queen song for Emi Sakura's entrance.
They need to splash out for a lot of entrances.
Oh god, the entrance music in this, I don't even remember the Butcher and the Blades. MJF's theme is also terrible. Most of the music is bad.
I like MJF's theme, but I would like a remix of it. Butcher and the Blades theme is interesting to me because Andy Williams has a band.
Yeah.
Just let his band's music be the music.
Yeah, just make your own song. What if his band is bad? I've never heard his band.
Well, it's heavy metal. It'll do for whatever they need to do.
All heavy metal is bad. There's never been a good metal song.
How dare you? I just came from a heavy metal festival.
Where you did not see Poppy, so what are you even doing?
I'm so upset, man. I was 5 minutes late.
We built it all up on the podcast that you were going to talk about Poppy, that you were going to see Poppy, and everyone's going to be very excited about your Poppy takes, and you're going to film a video of you shouting Io Shirai at Poppy, and none of it happened.
There was a number of people in the Discord who asked me about it. And I was like, this is the first time I've really let everyone down.
You betrayed our podcast lore, you betrayed our bits, and you betrayed, most importantly, him. You betrayed
I do have
Poppy.
a small Poppy note from one of my friends who did get there in time.
What did he say?
He said that Poppy looked as if she was disappointed at the size of the crowd for her.
She was disappointed, Liam, that you weren't there because she's a listener.
She was waiting for me.
She heard the show. Her. She was like, "Oh, yay! My favorite podcast host is going to be there," and she was looking for you. And she was looking for you.
Is that your Poppy impression?
Yes, I don't know what Poppy sounds like.
She's like kind of high pitched.
Oh, yay!
Very good. Now say, bury me 6 feet deep, bury me in concrete, turn me into a street. Which is a real lyric.
She should do the Rusev thing. Bury me softly, brother.
Garrett, her song has her talking about getting turned into a street.
Yeah, I think everyone wants to be turned into a street. If your goal in life is not to have a street named after you and then be buried underneath that street, I don't even know what's the point.
Alright, that's kind of cool. I didn't think about it in that way.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having a street named after me and then being buried in the street.
They put a little monument there that you're like, here lies Garrett. This street is named after him.
That's pretty cool. We got a Park promo.
Pac is sick of being disrespected and he wants to fight Kenny again.
Yep.
About it. Kenny Omega and Adam Page against Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears. In a match
This
that
was weird.
it was going along just fine, and like you think, oh, Kenny gets his hot tag, he's firing up, he's beating people up, he's lights out,
And
it's
then
like,
people got very excited.
yeah, then you're like whoop whoop, and then you're like no whoop whoop, it's only Joey Janela.
We need to stop doing the lights out if you're not going to have it be Marty.
They need to stop doing the lights out in general. They do it for it's not like, you know, Undertaker or Sabu, who are kind of mystical weird people. It's like Joey Janela showed up with Tully Blanchard unconvincingly tied up at the top of the stage. It's like, that's it?
It was a parody of Shawn Spears' shtick.
It's stupid. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem with the lights out thing is if you do it, it has to be someone that the fans going to be like, oh, otherwise they're just going to inherently be disappointed by it.
Or just do it after the match. Like, do you really need Kenny Omega and Adam Page?
Why couldn't you just have Janela dragging out the chair? I think that suits his character more.
Yeah, or you just have Kenny and Page win, and then have Janela drag out Tully, and there you go. Like, Kenny Omega and Kip Sabian was a good match on Dark, and I don't think Shawn Spears is so bad that he can't have a good tag match with Kenny Omega and Adam Page. But here we go. This match, it wasn't bad.
It was fine. Yeah. I wasn't super into it.
Yeah,
if I'm being perfectly honest.
When the angle was so bad, and then it's like Shawn Spears and Janela is a bad program.
I liked the ending angle though. Wait, before we get to this, I think it just clicked for me. They did the lights out gimmick because it's gonna be Janela versus Spears in a lights out match.
It really shouldn't be, but they might. It should just be a dopey Cracker Barrel match.
And then Omega and Page dissension.
Yeah, Page tagged himself in and won with the buckshot lariat, and then Kenny's like, I like Kenny. Kenny was very subtle, like understated in his anger. It was just like, really?
Yeah, even in like they did like a little backstage interview that they uploaded to Twitter, and Kenny was kind of like, "Nah, it's cool, it's cool."
Yeah, it's like everything's fine. I'm not mad about it, bro. You want to do it again next week?
Yeah, and then they said they teased even going after the tag titles. So maybe that's your Gen 1st tag titles match, the Bucks versus Omega and Page.
And we've had it announced, Lucha Bros against Kenny and Page next week. So,
if January 1st, Bucks versus Omega and Page might be the way they go.
That'll be a real good match.
And that's going to be a match that's going to get a lot of people to watch the show.
I kind of don't want them to do a full Page turn.
Yeah.
I'd prefer them to like
turning the page, huh?
Well, hey, I'd prefer them to do something like a little more subtle. Curse you. Where
Stupid
like,
joke, man.
He doesn't like do a full turn, but he's the heel in the program with Kenny, looking to prove himself.
Well, I think we always thought Omega Page was going to be the direction sooner or later.
I would have thought Page is beating Kenny for the title after Kenny beats Jericho for the title.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll happen for like a year.
Well, Brandy Rhodes is here.
Not Omega winning, but Page Omega. Because like they're not going to have a tiny Omega reign. To be honest, I think there's a chance Mox wins the title.
There's maybe an argument that he should. Should he lose? I don't know.
Well, then Mox wins the title. Omega eventually gets back and gets his win back against Mox.
We go backstage to Brandy Rhodes, who is kidnapping people again. There's a new bald person.
I thought it was Vampiro.
Yeah, the rest of Voices Wrestling Slack had a spirited debate that it was Dustin Rhodes. It definitely wasn't Dustin Rhodes.
Well, especially with what happened at the end of this show.
Yeah, and Sunny Days was another person I saw suggested.
I think this dude looked too skinny.
So
I felt like they basically gave us half his face. I don't know how we don't know who this is.
Yeah, some bald person. There's a lot of bald people there. Could be Rick Knox.
What, it could be someone under a mask. What if it's Evil Uno?
It's Pentagon.
And the Dark Order
They've shaved
and the
Pentagon's
Nightmare
head.
Family are coming together.
Wow. Well, isn't the easier way to do that? Just make it Dustin Rhodes.
Shut up.
And he can bring back Black Rain.
Yeah.
And Relic.
Yeah.
Did you know Relic is killer spelled backwards?
Wait, what?
I know, it's and Britt Baker's a dentist.
Oh my god, they are the same joke, aren't they?
They really are. It's the same joke for a very long time.
People were really down on this promo.
I thought Brandy's backstage stuff is fine. It's better than her in-ring stuff.
It was like a minute.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's well delivered.
I do get the idea that maybe these kind of things should be on Dynamite, on Dark, and maybe some of the more realistic stuff should be on Dynamite.
But I don't care. But like,
I don't care either. I'm just trying to provide some sort of.
as someone who watched
idea.
NXT this week, which had a lot, I think 3 or 4 of those personality profiles, and maybe one was half interesting and the rest were pointless. Like, people are like, well, put those profiles on Dynamite. It's like, no, they were boring on NXT.
But when, to be fair, when AEW does those kind of personality pieces, they are better.
Yeah, they actually have something that's like I thought for detouring to NXT for a moment, the Shayna one was pretty good, and then the rest were just there.
Well, the rest was, hey, watch this full documentary thing that's going to come out.
Yeah, it's like I have no interest in watching
I
the full
honestly
documentary.
don't even count them as part of the show.
Well, there was like 5 of them, so.
Yeah, there was 3.
That brings us to Jericho kicking the good commentators off of commentary, which, no. JR has reached the stage where he's like, I don't know anybody's names. It's part of my shtick.
I hate this.
It doesn't make it any better, JR.
I hate JR like, I'm actually shit at commentating. Doesn't that make it charming? And it's like, no, you're just bringing attention to the fact that you're shit and you clearly know that you're shit now. Just fucking retire and take a backstage role.
It's a bit of a problem when he's like, I admit I don't know anybody's names, but then he doesn't take the time to learn anybody's names.
It's not even that. Like, he will admit that he doesn't know their names. He admits that he gets phrases wrong. He doesn't know moves. He doesn't know references that he's trying to do. Like, seriously, dude, step away.
God damn it! And we had a whole match of just JR and Jim Ross on commentary. With himself, Ross? Yes, Jericho and Jim Ross.
That's even worse.
Him by himself would have been worse, but Jericho was there to anchor things.
Jericho was pretty good in this, though.
Jericho's always pretty good. Luchasaurus.
We should talk about the match that happened.
Yeah, Luchasaurus won. It was fine.
Yeah, this match didn't get much of a reaction, huh?
It wasn't particularly good. Luchasaurus is a lot less mobile than he was, and understandably, he tore his ACL, wasn't it, or something? No, an ACL tear would have been much longer.
Too.
But a hamstring injury, which would affect your movement and mobility, and it does seem like he came back a little too soon. But yeah, he beat Sammy with his flippy do tombstone. I did like the second he hit that, Jericho and Hager started running, but they weren't quick enough.
And they acknowledged that was pretty good.
Yeah, then we had they beat down Luchasaurus, but Jungle Boy made the save, and Jungle Boy got a giant reaction and a visual pin on Chris Jericho, counted by Marco Stunt, building to their 10-minute time limit match next week. Which, cool, solid angle.
Some good shit.
Yeah, that was the angle was good, even if the match was great. We got the announcement of AEW Revolution.
The angle was really hot too.
Yes, the Jungle Boy, people are into him, and Luchasaurus, people are also into. But, alas.
And Marco, to be fair.
Well, Marco's there.
Yeah, but like people are into him as much as we may not give a shit.
I like Marco. I'm like one of the higher men on Marco.
Sure.
February 29th, Leap Day, AEW Revolution goes to Chicago.
It's weird that they have a fake show now.
Yeah, it's a show that won't exist ever again. The date will disappear.
Does that mean they only do this every whatever amount of years there are before a leap year comes back?
No, it's every time a leap year falls on a Saturday only, Liam.
Oh my god, that's a very specific... They should make them massive shows then.
Yeah. Hangman Page and Kenny Omega face Lucha Bros next week. Jericho against Jungle Boy. Britt Baker against Chris Statlander. And SCU against the winner of Santana and Ortiz, which was our main event in a Texas Street Fight. The Young Bucks defeated Santana and Ortiz in a very fun plunder match, but not like match of the year levels, but I think it was a ton of fun.
It was aight.
I don't think no one will remember this as an all-time big brawl, but they did a bunch of cool table spots and one with a melts driver on chairs, and it was a fun plunder match.
I didn't even really have fun watching it.
Didn't you?
No, I was kind of bored with it.
What a sour pussy. Nick Jackson did a
I
second
know.
dive off a stage through a table.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The first one wasn't through a table.
It was kind of long too.
It was
I don't know. This
15
this
minutes.
match didn't get me at all.
It was a TV main event. Why did I'll never give out about a TV main event being 15, especially between the Young Bucks and Santana and Ortiz.
You know what? Nah. I'm just not feeling it. Not feeling that match at all.
Clearly a Young Bucks hater.
Yes, me. Notorious Young Bucks hater.
And then they faced off with SCU, and they faced them next week for the World Tag Team titles. And as I said, no argument, Young Bucks should win the belts.
They definitely should win. They probably will win.
And that is AEW Dynamite, a show which I thought it was alright. Pretty good.
I don't know, man. I'm like slightly above average.
I don't know, you didn't seem to like a lot of things on this show, Liam.
By above average, I mean like a 6 out of 10.
That takes us to NXT, which started with easily the match of the night. I'm not even going to pretend there's a better candidate for match of the night.
This match, not only was match of the night, this match ruled super hard.
Lio Rush lost the NXT Cruiserweight Championship to Angel Garza in a tremendous match. This match is everything that I like. This show had 2 big matches, this and the main event, and they are the dichotomy of what I like and don't like about NXT. Because the opener, absolutely phenomenal. This match had like the urgency and the drama and the emotion that you just don't get out of this show. There was intensity, there was fire, there was stakes. These two wanted to fight each other. The title was on the line. The face heel dynamic, I still don't know who's a face or a heel, but that doesn't matter.
Well, it flipped.
Yeah, apparently. Clearly people love that when he pulls his pants off.
Yes. This was a takeover match.
It was better than a takeover match. It was better than any match on War Games.
Yeah, well, War Games was a fake takeover. I don't even acknowledge that in the takeover canon.
This is an old takeover match. This is a takeover match when takeover matches made you feel something, not when they were just PWG move showcases, which is, we'll get to that in the main event. This was a meaningful match. These guys cared. These guys went at each other. It's like this is what they need from this show: emotion and passion and meaning, not just
and a real story.
And a real story, and not just guys doing super indie matches that you've seen 5 years ago. And
a ton of callbacks to their previous stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some really insane spots.
Yeah, wrestled at a frantic pace.
The one spot that really stuck out to me...
Mm-hmm.
that really stood out to me was the electric chair drop into the cutter thing that Leo does.
Oh, that rule.
I threw my hands up at that. So this match, like, it was flippy stuff, but also it had a brutality to it, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, they were slapping each other. They went at each other. This was intense.
Good shit all round.
Except Mauro calling a Spanish fly an avalanche Spanish fly. A Spanish fly is by nature from the top rope, Mauro.
That's why they call the other one the standing Spanish fly.
Yeah. Disrespect to the Spanish announce team. Please learn the name of their move. And in theory, Liam, you should say it's a one-man Spanish fly, because a Spanish fly involves 2 people doing it.
Or as it is now known, the Red Wing.
Or a flux capacitor, which is the same
There's
move.
a ton of people that use this move, huh?
Actually, technically, is the flux capacitor the original one-man Spanish fly?
I guess so, yeah.
So we should, in theory, call it a flux capacitor instead of a Spanish fly.
Yeah, but it's so wordy.
It's a Back to the Future reference. What more do you want?
So Kushida should do it.
Yes.
If you have a spreadsheet, or if you like good wrestling, watch this match.
Only if you have a spreadsheet. Only if you...
Yeah, that's who I aim to please. I don't care about anyone who doesn't have a spreadsheet.
If you don't have a spreadsheet, you're a fake fan.
Listen, I'm not going to say it, but yes.
Rush, inspired to become a rapper by Eminem. He's treating Garza like Eminem treated Nick Cannon on Fat Joe's Latest Droid. What an explosive match. Explosive as Nick Cannon.
Yep.
That run ran. Lio Rush is faster than 5G. More slaps than the Beatles there by Garza. I don't know, like... I guess he means the Beatles song slap. Okay.
Yes, that is what he's inferring.
Those are the only Mauro quotes I have this week. I'm already out.
Well, he had a ton in just that one match.
Yes,
he opened the show with a really long, extended quote.
Yeah, he really unloaded them in the opening match, and then he was like, I'm done.
He knew that, like, this is the match people are going to watch.
Yeah, watch Angel Garza against Lio Rush. This match was great. This match was everything that I'm always giving out NXT isn't. And it was. And then it became the rest of the show is everything NXT isn't.
Oh, did it?
We got the Rhea Ripley... No, the Shayna Baszler video package, which I thought... That one was the only one that was like, oh, this is pretty good. We're explaining who she is. She's talking about cars. And then the rest of them were rubbish. There's no point even talking about them.
I didn't watch them.
Angel Garza proposed during the break, Liam.
Congratulations.
She said yes. It would have been very awkward if she said no.
That lucky woman.
I wish she said no, just because live TV.
Yeah, well, like, that's how you... Like, that's just, like... The Schadenfreude. I butchered that. In, All of Us. We want to see the pain and misery.
Raul Mendoza, I was mad. Raul Mendoza made his entrance, and last week he was jumped during his entrance. He was attacked by Cameron Grimes during his entrance, and this week he just did his entrance.
He should have looked over his shoulder.
He should have looked over his shoulder. That's the little attention to detail. That, like, he should have been anxious that Grimes was once again going to jump him before the bell, and he should have been, like, paying attention, but he just did his entrance, the same as he always does his entrance. God damn it, NXT.
That's something that, like, if this feud had have happened on AEW, the guy would have looked over his shoulder.
Yeah. This NXT has a remarkable ability to make sure everybody looks like a nerd. Like, Raul Mendoza got attacked last week, Cameron Grimes lost to Kushida, then Cameron Grimes lost again to Raul Mendoza this week, and, like, he's probably then going to beat Kushida, and then everybody will look like a loser. Like, they have a remarkable ability to book these programs so that everybody loses.
We've been going about this, like, this is literally what we've been going on about for, like, 11 weeks.
Yeah.
No one comes out of any of these feuds looking better because they don't actually put any time into building anyone up.
Yeah, everyone loses at any stage. It's the same as that other three-way program where everybody lost at one stage or another. It's just like everybody in the show's a loser. Nobody on the show just wins for a while.
Nobody gains anything from this.
Nobody Cameron Grimes does anything from this.
Well, Kushida gained something from this, and that was Cameron Grimes' hat.
Yes, he should come out to the entrance. He should get the jacket next. The hat he should just become the hat. The hat should be his character now.
So you're saying he should have a Mario Odyssey character?
Oh yeah, he should possess people with the hat. That's even better.
That's why I'm here.
Travis Banks debut. Is this? Has he been on? I think it's his debut.
He's been on NXT before.
Has he? All right. Faces Jackson Riker, the former Gunner, in a match that's meant to apparently get you excited for Worlds Collide.
Garrett, I fucking love this match.
I thought this match was terrible.
I fucking love this match, man.
This match sucked. They weren't the Millie Boss an hour.
This match was great. Shut up. This match was great. Banks was fighting against the bigger opponent. It was stiff as hell. I liked this match. It was short. It was quick. It was fast. This was good.
No, it wasn't. This match, like, he looked like a child compared to Gunner. Gunner, like, legitimately
that's
dwarfed
the point,
him.
and they
But,
worked
like,
around that.
No, that's my problem. He never did. He never looked like credible, and the kicky one with looked like shit. And then that's about to get us excited for the Worlds Collide pay-per-view.
To be fair, the finish was not perfect. But I don't know. I really like this match. I like that Banks had to be quick, and he had to throw in a bunch of strikes where he could get it. This is good.
This is your regional bias coming in.
Yes, for New Zealand?
Your love of your close neighbour and friend New Zealand.
You realize that we, like, hate each other, right?
Yeah, but you put let bygones be bygones for the sake of wrestling.
Okay, sure. This match was good.
No, it was Gunner made him look like a child. And then he won and he did the big shocked face and the finish looked terrible.
This is good. But let's be real. How can anyone get excited for Worlds Collide when one of the shows doesn't exist?
Yeah, and like the 2 weeks...
Also, fuck 205.
Well, 205 is dead, but the 2 weeks, like, Matt Riddle defeated Chris Hero and Travis Banks looked like a child compared to mid-card or Gunner.
Well, to be fair, there's no real stars on NXT UK, is there?
I like Travis Banks' silver boots.
I like Travis Banks. I did realise during this match, this is probably my first Travis Banks match I've watched this year.
He doesn't exist. All these people just disappear off the face of the earth. Remember when all these people had good matches in lots of companies?
Yeah. Remember when Travis Banks was Progress World Champion?
Dakota Kai faced Mia Yim in a decent match. I don't remember anything from this match, but Dakota Kai won. I do remember one thing. They took the thing out of Dakota Kai's video. What's the point?
Well, I just like... How come when something gets universally praised, the next week they're like, fuck that?
Yeah, we gotta take her beating the crap out of the knee out of the video, because God forbid people liked it and they thought it was memorable.
Is it too violent?
I don't care. Her things that are it's violent. It should be too violent. You should show it every time.
Yeah.
Unless you're cowards. Unless NXT are cowards. That's in this match.
We knew that.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from this match. I thought it was decent, but like, okay. It wasn't nearly as good as
my least favorite match on the show.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as good as the Dakota Kai Candice LeRae match a couple of weeks ago.
Was it nearly as good as Travis Banks versus Gunner?
That match wasn't good at all. The post match though, they brawled up to the production area and they hit a very, very, very nasty looking backdrop through one table.
She ate shit.
Mia Yim looked like she bashed her head off the table. She looked like unsettled and like completely out of it when she was getting up from that.
And Dakota Kai got folded in half.
Yeah, this looked nasty. These two killed each other there. Breezango. Liam, I wish because they faced the Singh brothers, they faced the Bollywood boys, and I'm like, the match was fine, but I watched like Breezango. It's like, if these two weren't goofs, they'd probably like be one of the better parts of this show, but they're just complete goofs.
It's funny because like they're goofs on their entrance, but then they're like super serious in the ring now.
Yeah.
And they have some really fucking brutal tag moves.
Yeah, they were great in this, but this was a good little squash for them. And like, just do something with, stop with the dumb entrances, stop with the nonsense. They can be fun, but they don't
Please
have to
stop
be.
with Beth Phoenix making tired jokes.
She's horny, Liam. What's wrong with Beth Phoenix being horny?
She's horny on main.
Edge must be very upset that she's horny for these men on national television.
I think Edge is fine with it, let's be real. He seems like a chill dude.
Yeah, but yeah, Breezango looked real good here. It was a nice little squash for them, and they're just not. They're cartoons. Do something with Breezango.
I actually like this match a lot, now that I'm like recalling on it.
Yeah, it's like when they were brought back to NXT, I was like, oh, good. Like those are two men who needed to be called down because they're doing nothing of substance on the main roster, and somehow the thing they're doing on NXT is worse than the main roster. At least the Fashion Files was funny.
I was gonna say, like, minus the entrance, they're very clearly better. But the entrance is as long as their match.
And yeah, they haven't done anything. They had they were the surprise partners of Kushida, and then they've had a couple tag matches doing nothing ever since.
They beat the Forgotten Sons a bunch.
Yeah, and are they setting them up for a match against the Undisputed Era? Maybe, but they can't do. But
they can't do the entrance if they're doing that. Like,
yeah,
you can't go into a title match getting your clothes ripped off.
Yeah, doing some doctor or construction worker shtick.
Oh, let's play a game. I have a game for you, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
What will the next Breezango entrance be? What trope will they go with?
They'll go for lawyers. They're going to be lawyers.
I think they're going to be plumbers.
Ooh, plumbers will work.
Or pizza delivery.
Beth will go nuts for the plumber one.
Yeah.
A lot of... Oh, God. Anyway, then we... I don't even want to think about it. Bianca Belair defeated Kaden Carter in a match that was too long even for a 4-minute squash.
I kind of like Kaden Carter, though.
Yeah, I thought she looked pretty good there, but like, if this was a match to heat up Belair, I don't think it was a particularly good one. If it was a showcase of Carter, I don't think it was a particularly good one. So, like, what did this match achieve? Very little.
Well, it's just like, I feel like if you're going to do this match, you might as well just have Kaden Carter do the upset.
Upset her? Yeah. I'm on board with you there.
Bianca Belair is established. She's not going to lose anything, really. And then you have a program with two people that don't really get used in programs at the moment.
And she also has pretty much nothing to lose. It's not like she's she's that hot or anything at the moment.
But like, even if she loses, I think she's over enough in that crowd now that like it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah, and she could get her heat back somehow. But yeah, she won.
Kaden Carter should have won this.
a mediocre squash. Then we had our main event, which was, I don't know, like, this is a match which I cannot in good faith say was a bad wrestling match, because it wasn't. And I have to probably in good faith say it was a good wrestling match, because it probably was. But this was like the dumb NXT Super Indie match. It's the exact opposite of the opener, that are just like, they're just doing moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they're taking turns, and like, it's well executed, but like, there's no stakes or substance or emotion. And there is stakes. It's not a number contenders match, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel, there's no like passion or drive. There's no like storyline hook. Like Keith Lee, his big Survivor Series push coming out of that big match with Roman Reigns that everyone remembers, is he lost the tag title match of the Undisputed Era, and now he lost this number one contendership match in which he was pinned. Of him, which clearly suggests that they're going to set up Ciampa for the takeover rather than Keith Lee. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do something better, NXT. Stop with these dumb matches. Why was this a triple threat in the first place when Finn Balor beat Tommaso Ciampa 2 weeks ago?
It should have just been Balor Keith Lee.
Yeah, why is Ciampa even in the match?
Yes, and like they even asked that in the promo.
Yeah.
Balor's like, why is he here? I beat him.
And like, if you're going to pin Keith Lee, just do the singles match. Fair enough if they put Ciampa there for Balor to pin so that they build Keith Lee down the line. But no, they pinned Keith Lee, so they're clearly building Ciampa down the line. And this is the NXT I don't like. Everything about this match is like, it is an objectively good wrestling match, but everything about the storytelling, everything about the way it was worked, everything about like the atmosphere around it is just like the phony corporate PWG that I don't like, as opposed to the cool wrestlers. Like Garza Jr. has done his best work in NXT. Like better than his Impact work, better than his Indie work, better than his Mexico work. Like, his 2 matches with Lio Rush are the 2 best Garza matches I have ever seen. That's the way this show should be. Not them doing retreads of stuff they did in the Indies 5 years ago.
You're completely right.
Go on.
And I have nothing to add. It's just like, you've said it all. Like, this is exactly what this was. There was cool spots. I liked the spots.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Ciampa's double DDT. I liked that Ciampa looked like he was... No, Finn looked like he was going to die on that, like, Tower of Doom...
Air raid crash.
White noise stick.
Yeah.
There was cool moves. And I like cool moves. But, I don't know. I feel like I should have felt something during this.
Yeah. Finn wins the setup Finn against Adam Cole next week, which is your big main event.
In a match that screams no finish.
Yeah, they're probably going to do something. That's where Johnny comes back, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Then we set up some sort of Cole Roderick DIY bullshit.
Does Shayna lose the belt next week?
I think so.
It feels like time. I think I think that the way to do that is she loses the belt and you come back with a rematch. Not you do some shitty finish and then come back with, you extend the chase.
Rhea wins the belt and then at the takeover or Worlds Collide, I guess. They do the rematch.
Which yeah,
and then she debuts in the Women's Royal Rumble.
There you go. There, we booked your show for you, NXT.
We do that a lot, and then they go with something completely asinine that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Match of the week: Garza against Lio Rush.
Far and away.
Show
4 1/4.
Show of the week.
Garrett.
I don't even know. I don't even know.
It's NXT for me.
I don't know.
I had higher highs on NXT, and I had consistently about the same enjoyability throughout the show. Like, both shows were very easy to watch for me this week, but NXT just had the peaks. So I'm going to give it to NXT, because that I liked that opening match a lot, and I really liked Travis Banks and Gunner for some reason, but I really did like that. So I'm going to give it to NXT.
The poll says 67%, 33% AEW, so I'm the deciding vote here. And I legitimately don't know. I didn't particularly like either of these shows.
If you don't know and you go around 50-50, I think you just got to go with which show had the best match.
Do I?
Well, that's my theory. I'd be like, if they're both pretty on par with each other, and one had a way better match than the other show, I'm going to go with the one that had the match that I might go back and watch again.
I guess. That's a sound
What are you going to rewatch?
I'm going to rewatch the QT Marshall dive 1,000,000 times.
But are you going to rewatch the whole match?
But the dive is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's up to you, Garrett.
I'll probably go NXT. I didn't particularly like either of these shows, but NXT did have that opener. You're right. It goes to NXT. Yeah. NXT wins! You've taken to clapping a lot in this show.
I like clapping. What can I say? It feels appropriate for the celebration because we don't have sound effects.
But I could edit it in. So I've thought about editing out your clapping, but it's like,
what the fuck?
Well, like I'm not sure how clapping translates on a podcast, Liam. It might hurt people's
ears. How about whenever I clap, find a soundbite of like a crowd clapping and just overdub it.
Okay, or put in some cartoonish music. But NXT victorious for a second time.
Good work, NXT.
I really like.
You scraped ahead.
Yeah, I was just like, I have no strong feelings about either of these shows, and I don't think either was particularly great. But I guess one did have a great match. Like,
if AEW had like some sort of moment that I was like, I want to go see that moment again.
QT Marshall.
Well, yeah, but like that's a 3-second GIF.
That's
compared to a 15-minute great match.
But which can you watch? You can watch the 3-second GIF a lot more times.
But will I watch the GIF enough 3 seconds in a row to equate to 15 minutes of NXT?
Perhaps. It's a very good GIF.
And also, Angel Garza got engaged, so
yeah, he did, and she said yes. So good for him.
This is our engagement present to NXT.
Yes, congratulations, Angel Garza. You're Cruiserweight champion, and you're victor in the Wednesday War Games.
Now change that belt.
Before we go, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm around.
Discord.
Yeah, find me on Discord. Talk to us on Discord. Go to the Voices of Wrestling Discord and go onto the Wednesday War Games channel. How about that? You can speak to us directly. You can @Garrett directly.
Yes, well, you can do that on Twitter too, but sure.
And the DMs are open on the War Games Twitter.
And
So
on my
if you want to
personal
hurl
Twitter.
abuse at us in private, feel free to.
You can also do it in public. I don't really care.
Just give us something. Just abuse us.
Liam just wants to feel the world. He wants to know there's somebody out there. This is the 52nd minute of a podcast, though. This is the true time where, like, the second I say, Liam, where can people find you on the internet? That's where people stop listening.
Yeah, this is just for the hardcores.
We can say whatever we want at this point of the podcast, and nobody's
Alright,
here.
Garrett,
It's speaking
Garrett,
to nobody.
Give me your hottest take for this year in pro wrestling.
I don't know. New Japan has been boring. Is that a hot take? That, like, it's just boring top to bottom? It's a boring company?
I think that's a hot take to people who like New Japan a lot.
Probably is.
I gotta think of a hot take. Here, do your pitch and I'll think of a hot take.
Everything in New Japan's boring. It's stale. It's like 2015 New Japan, where there's good matches, but everybody is running on the spot and nobody has been elevated in about a year and a half. And it's just the same people having the same matches over and over again. And who cares? They're good matches, but who cares? I look at that Wrestle Kingdom lineup and I'm like, I don't care about any of these matches. I don't care about the tournament. I don't care about Goto and Kenta. I don't care about, like, Ishii and Shingo being demoted to multi-mans. The two best wrestlers in the company are doing nothing. I don't care about those lineups. They're boring looking, because New Japan is boring. There's nothing, and the point is that, like, there's very little they can do without, like, actively elevating people, which they're not doing. The Sonata has hit a ceiling, Evil has hit a ceiling, all these people have hit ceilings because nobody's going anywhere, because it's Okada on top, and everyone else just hovering underneath, and no one being elevated at the moment. What's your hot take, Liam?
John Moxley is the tallest member of the Shield.
That's a factual lie. You can find us on Twitter at WarGamesPod.
Oh wait, my hot take. I found my hot take, my real hot take.
All right.
Screw promotion. Naito should lose at Wrestle Kingdom in the first round.
And so should Okada, and Naito should beat Okada in the consolation match.
And then lose to Jay White at New
In February,
Beginning for the title.
Yeah. Perfect.
We are perfect bookers. We are the golden bookers.
Yes.
And once again proving that we know what's best for business.
If you'd like more AEW content in your podcast feeds, well, does Voice of the Wrestling Podcasting Network have the podcast for you? It's Everything Elite. They talk about Everything Elite. What more do you want?
They also talk about Dark.
Yeah, they talk about Dark. We don't, because Dark's a fake show that actually has a good Kenny Omega match.
Yeah, go watch the Kip Sabian Kenny Omega.
Much better than the tag match on this show. You can listen to Shake Them Ropes for all your WWE coverage. You can follow me on Twitter at GarrettKNG or ETTKIDNEY. I continue to prioritize my own personal brand over the podcast brand with my tweets.
My hot take is that that's stupid.
Listen, I'm more concerned with building my personal brand. It's more important.
As I am a man of the people.
I'm nearly
a man of the podcast.
3,000 followers, Liam. 1,997 followers. It has only taken me over 10 years to amass nearly 2,000 followers.
Listen, it's not about how many followers you have, it's the content you give them.
I thought you were going to say it's not about the number of followers, it's about the quality of followers. But no, it's about the number.
It's about the quality of takes delivered.
Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.
And we apologise to John.
Oh yeah, for all the Naito slander. Sorry, John.
Bye!
John actually listens to this show, so we're upsetting them with all the Naito slander.
We are the worst.
Bye!
Bye!